Gary.
What happened?
It's 2021, Gary. That's what's happened.
No way. I'm going to do something about this. There you go. That's so much better. So much better.
I know, it's like mixing Ant and Dec up, innit?
I know, but now I'm in full control, Andy. I'm just going to fart about to my heart's content with this screen tonight.
Folks, Happy New Year to everyone joining us on the Paisley Community.
Hey, hold on. My text out. There you go. That's it. That's
you all right, Gary?
That's better. Happy New Year, everyone who's watching, and happy every New Year who isn't watching.
Aye, something like that. 2021, but folks, this tonight's show comes with a warning. So usually, as most of you will know that are regular viewers to the chat show, I've got all the controls. So I, flick the switches, I bring guests on, I can move folk about the screen, I can make all the tech work. Well, tonight, not only have I got controls, but Gary's got controls as well.
There's been a coup.
There's been a takeover. Is that you talking about the Capitol building in Washington right now, Gary?
It's such a topical segue, Andy, into chat about things that are going on in the world.
Oh, folks, it's great to see you all. It's great to see you all. Lots of we've got Terry, a brobrich nicht the nicht. It is indeed, Terry. It's a brobrich moonlich nicht the nicht.
I could look my head out the back door earlier, Andy, and it looked like freezing fog.
Oh, aye. It was freezing, certainly, and very foggy today.
So from the land of the freezing to the land of the free. Happy New Year, Elizabeth in Chicago.
Oh, indeed. Well, indeed. We've got all our usual viewers in this evening. Happy New Year. A few new names.
Some new faces tonight. There's Sharon there.
A few new.
Double take. Wee bit double take. You getting feedback, Sharon?
Tweeting or Facebook posting at the same time. Gary, we've made it into 2021. How was it for you at the Bells? Did you do anything special, Gary?
I did loads of things special.
Go on then. Give us a wee insight into the Kerr household.
What, an example of the specialness?
Aye, go on then.
I need to think hard. Watched Hoot and Annie.
It was different this year.
It was a bit of a catch up with some live stuff. It didn't have the same feel. Just didn't feel like a proper Hoot and Annie, and there wasn't any new music on it. It just felt a bit pale imitation, but it was good enough. And I didn't know it was coming on, Andy, if I'm being honest. And when I seen it coming on, I thought, aye, that's what I like to watch. So I watched the Hoot and Annie, sat up, watched the telly. That was about it. That's what we do.
Now, Gary, apparently, if you cast your mind back to last year's Christmas and New Year celebrations, New Year was always New Year in Scotland with Jackie Bird. But last year was the first year that Jackie Bird didn't do it. And
really?
2020 happened.
Oh God, is that a thing?
It's a conspiracy theory, Gary.
She was wrong.
May as well join the rest of the conspiracy theorists.
There's loads of Happy New Years coming in tonight, Andy. That's really nice to see. Happy New Year, everyone.
Folks, we'd be delighted if you wanted to share with us any of your New Year's stories. Did you do anything interesting this year? Obviously, as we know, New Year was very different in connection to the current situation that we're in. Did you manage to see one or two of your nearest and dearest? Did you have it peacefully on your own, and that was pure bliss for you? So if you've got a wee insight into how you spent your New Year, let us know. It'd be fantastic. But whether we like it or not, Gary, 2021, and it's feeling a lot like March again, Gary, is it not?
No, actually, no. I've got to say, Andy, it doesn't. I think these rules have been made to be completely flouted, and I'm flabbergasted by the amount of people on the streets that don't realise how much of a chance we've got to come out of this if we stick to some of the rules and guidance that we've been given.
Yeah.
So if you're a total tube, you think I've got my own rules. I'm going to do what I think's right. But you've got the whole world's upside down, Andy. And look at America. It's getting worse. There's a riot there tonight because of some bambot that thinks he can make up his own rules.
Exactly. Another conspiracy theorist, Donald Trump. I've got CNN on the other screen right now, and there's a large contingent of people who are storming the Capitol building as we speak. I don't see any violence right now, but a very concerning signs, because that's just, he's the biggest loser, and he just won't give it up, and he's inciting all of this violence.
Total loser.
Don't be a tube, Donald.
But he thinks he can fly into Prestwick with impunity. There you go. I'm turning into political language here, but he thinks he can just do what he wants. We can't drive from here to Prestwick if we would like.
Well,
I think it's going to get strung up.
I think that's a possibility. But what I was saying, if he turns up in Scotland again, I'm sure Janie Godley will be on the case. Do you not think?
No, because she's not letting us out.
Oh, she's probably not. Not. And someone posted up on Facebook the other day, someone that I know and someone that I kind of expected slightly better of, and their statement was, lockdowns don't work. And then they put on some YouTube conspiracy theorists claiming why lockdowns don't work. Now, let's be very, very honest, folks. This is not a great situation to be in, and lockdowns and these curtailment issues of curtailment to our movements is incredibly difficult. And one of the themes that we've had on the chat show has been people's mental health, and there's no doubt at all that this situation is incredibly challenging. However, when you look at the facts, and I'm not talking about the made up numbers, I'm talking about the real stats, and you look at what the figures would have been in terms of no lockdown versus the figures that would have been based on lockdown. The R rate, you've heard everybody talking about the R rate, Gary.
Yeah.
The R rate number is suppressed by 81% if you put in place a lockdown. So if you run the numbers and say, well, if everything was 81% higher, etc., then what would the death toll be? So right now in the UK, 70,000 people have lost their lives to COVID-19. Dreadful number, absolutely dreadful number. But if they hadn't put in place lockdowns, Gary, it would be 320,000 more.
Wow.
So, yes, the numbers are going up. Yes, folk are flouting the rules and COVID is spreading and there's new strains, etc., But there would be 320,000 more deaths without lockdown.
Amazing, isn't it? Amazing. And I mean, it's about mitigation, Andy. It's about preventative. You could say that there's no deaths and there's no cases.
Aye.
Well, how long will that last if you come out of lockdown and we all get in the pub and have a pint and cuddle your pal?
It's not going to work, but it's...
Anyway, peace and goodwill to everyone, especially you guys over in America, with your Happy New Year to Donald Trump, and hope it gets strung for the first lamppost.
Peace
and goodwill.
There's a picture, Gary, on CNN right now, and I'm wondering if I can share this, because look at this picture right now, Gary. Has that just appeared right? So there's armed guards at the door of the House floor. They've barricaded the House floor and they're standing, guns pulled.
What?
Absolutely.
This is like some Iranian junta.
So, folks, if you're watching chat show tonight, then we'll forgive you if you've got one eye on the news, because it's extraordinary scenes, all caused by one
Madman.
Donald Trump. We know that our show broadcasts in Chicago. We know that it broadcasts in New York. We know that it broadcasts in Houston. We had someone tuning in last week from Houston. Do you think Trump watches the chat show, Gary, in the Oval Office?
I hope not.
Let's tune in to those two guys for Paisley.
You never know. If he's got a Paisley connection, let's get Donald Trump on.
Absolutely. Let's see what's on. So, folks, listen, it'd be good to hear what you were up to over the new year. We are, after all, 2021, 6th of... Oh, hold on, Gary. Hold on.
What's happening?
Oh, Thank you,
You got your
darling.
mug? Fantastic, Andy. Mine's is in the cupboard.
Paisley Community Chat Show mug with my own coupon on it.
We'll need to ask some of our guests this evening how we capitalise on merchandise.
You reckon?
Yeah, we need to get a merchandise deal going with Star.
A Star Project merchandise for Paisley Community Trust gear.
Oh, definitely. Every time they're out and about, they sell one of your mugs on the fly.
They're nice mugs, aren't they? Look at that. Look, let's get our logo. I know Sharon was having problems with her logo a little bit earlier on. It was jagging into her head. But that's all right, isn't it?
We need to watch that logo later on. If there's 5 A's on the screen, we need to move it about.
Well, this is our logo, as most folk will know, and it's based on the Paisley pattern, but it's all about putting community to the heart, at the heart of regeneration within Paisley. That's
that is a PCT type of thing as well.
It's very abstract, Gary. Hold on, that's the P.
Yeah.
Right, and then that's a C, and that's a T. Very abstract, Gary.
You're pushing it when you have to explain it.
I wasn't on anything when I designed it, but that's
a bad joke. It's like me and my Janie Godley jokes when I froze all on my post-it pad. Poor show.
Absolutely. Great to see everyone. We've got Elizabeth and Councillor Devine heading up the chat on American politics right now.
Wait to see this. Wait to see this. Hold on.
What? Gary, did you do that?
That could be anything.
What is Councillor Devine talking to? Oh no, maybe he's talking about a merch.
He needs to extrapolate.
Maybe he's talking about a Paisley Community Trust.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Breaking news. Check this. Look, there's some dude on the Senate floor sitting on the main seat that the Vice President Pence was sitting on 2 minutes ago.
You might get more sense out of him. That is mental, mate. That's what happens in Iran and stuff like that.
Can you imagine protesters in Westminster?
Eddie's having a wee feel. Is it before 9?
Is it before? Well, it's not after the watershed yet, Gary.
Sorry, I'll take that one. That was a quick flash of the cup there.
Got to keep it clean. Got to keep it clean, Gary.
It's a mug, Eddie. Come on.
So Gary, before we get our wonderful guests on, and we're going to talk about who we've got coming up in the show, because we have, and someone has already mentioned, we've got a star-studded cast tonight.
We have.
There's Willie on a star-studded show tonight. Absolute stars and legends are going to be joining us very, very shortly. But Gary,
yes,
New Year always comes with a couple of resolutions. Have you made any yourself this year, Gary?
No.
No New Year's resolutions, Gary.
You want me to expand on no?
Go on. give us a little bit more information on the reason behind, Gary.
To-do lists is the thing. Resolutions are out, Andy. You need to just make sure you've got a to-do list.
Right.
And work through it. Just, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that. Never mind resolutions. They don't last. Resolutions, to-do lists are forever, not just for Christmas.
Resolutions are not just for New Year. So I'd be keen to also hear anyone's unusual New Year's resolutions. I'm sure we've got some crackers. I wonder, for instance, Paul Stewart, Paul's bound to have a good New Year's resolution. Whether we can print it or not is a different thing.
Eddie's on the game. Playing the game now. Eddie's got it spot on.
Right, we need to, and incidentally, this one, Paul, that's me. This was my daughter that did the drawings. And Gary actually, a wee Santa Claus delivered one with Gary's coupon on it.
Mine's is in the cupboard. I had mine in the other day, Andy. We had a wee Zoom chat, and I had my mug with my coffee in it.
Aye, and for all our overseas viewers, I just used the word Gary's coupon. So a coupon is a face.
Oh dear.
We need to see how those subtitles are doing with us, Gary.
I've not checked back in the subtitles for a while, but last time I was there, they're hilarious.
Oh, bonkers.
I love
Bonkers.
it.
So here we are, folks. It's the new year. This is show 1 of 2021, but show 37. So we're already 37 shows in. And for those that missed it, you know, we're not giving up, because we've got so much, so many people to talk to, so many spotlights to shine on good things that are happening in Paisley, and we were encouraged, quite frankly. We're not, Gary. We were encouraged to continue.
We are encourageable, but we were encouraged. We've got February planned already. We're right into February already, Andy. Don't know if you've had a glance at the planner.
Oh, is there a planner there, Gary?
The chat show planner. We've upped our take. We've now got a chat show planner. Right, but we're right into February. We're
going to have some smashing guests, and usually we always talk about what caught our eye this week, but we've been too busy celebrating or bringing in the new year or planning our to-do list, Gary. I don't have anything ready that did catch my eye, but there was a couple of things. I saw that it was John Byrne's 81st birthday today.
Seriously?
Yeah, it was on one of the Facebook pages. Yeah. It was apparently his birthday. Mags McGee had posted that up. So Mags, thanks for letting us know. 81.
Wow. Well, see now that I'm a newbie on this, Andy.
Go on.
There's only one thing caught my eye.
Go on, Gary. Oh, you can look. Hands off, folks.
Look, I want to bring to all of cultural organisations in Renfrewshire's attention the support grants that are available. And look at we see this, Andy.
Go on, Gary. Press the button.
There's how you get it.
Look at you, Gary. You've managed to figure out how to get banners working and get them scrolling along the bottom.
I was on a tutorial earlier on, a wee remedial class. Remedial class up the Old Sacred Heart. Went to the remedial group, got that done. So that's that one, Andy. And then when you go back to this thing, I think, you go back to there, take that off, and you click on that one. Up comes the website, Cultural Organisational Support. So if you are a third sector cultural organisation and you're needing support, go to Renfrewshire Council's website. Wait a minute, Andy. Wait a minute. Don't leave me yet.
I'm having a cup of tea, Gary.
But I'm getting excited. Look, and click on the website. What is
that? You're too good at this. You are too good. I can take the night off now, Gary. You've got all the buttons. We'll need to be starting to bring our guests on. Right, take all that off the screen, Gary.
Oh, I don't know how to do that, but
you just click it again. Right, what we got? We've got some New Year's resolutions in that haven't quite started working out.
Oh, right, okay. New Year's resolutions.
So, and I've not seen T. Lynn Navarra Patterson on our chat show feed before, Gary, but T is giving up the fags. However, she's having a smoke to the chat show, Gary.
You're allowed, Andy. There's a tolerance. There's a New Year tolerance that you're allowed to go to the second Monday, whatever date that falls in. Did you know that?
I didn't know that one. So you can hang off until the Monday.
You can hang off to the Monday, yeah.
Before you start your diet or whatever it is.
What about the 9th? The year I gave up crisps. For the viewers out there, I've got an admission. I'm a crispaholic, and I used to sit and eat 12 bags in a go. In 1 year, I decided I'm going to stop eating crisps, but I hadn't started back work yet, so I had a weekend binge and gave up on the Monday. I've not had a crisp since 2012.
Crispaholic, Gary.
Crispaholic.
Well done.
It was a hashtag on Twitter, but I was the only one on it. So
you were trending in your own Twitter feed.
I was.
Oh, fantastic! Right, I think we've got to get on with the chat show, Gary. I think we've got to bring on some guests, and we've got to chat to them, Gary, because we've got some fun guests.
Well, you bring one in, and I'll bring one in.
Well, listen, Gary, I'll bring all the guests in, so I'm going to leave it to you to that sense of accomplishment, Gary, when you brought both guests on. It's going to be awesome.
I've not finished this module, Andy. So if this doesn't work and we lose a couple of guests, then we'll just see how it works.
Scott Vec module and chat shows. Go for it, Gary.
Scott Vec 3, chat show guests, Sharon and Heather.
Yay, Gary, you done it.
Wrong order.
Or do you need to be out the other way? Gary can sort that out. There we go.
That's better.
This is on the job training.
You're doing well. You're doing well. So Heather, you pointed out that you and Sharon were round the wrong way. So do you guys do that as well? Do you have an order that you need to be in? So kind of like Ant and Dec, Andy and Gary, Heather and Sharon.
Needs to go first. Always Sharon first. Come on now, guys. Always Sharon first.
It depends if you're left or right. It's first.
It does depend, doesn't it?
It does.
Nah, we don't bother with that. Don't we know?
Yep. We've never bothered with it, but it's a kind of Lennon-McCartney thing now.
It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. I'm always over here and Gary's always over there. But I have to say, Heather and Sharon, you're sporting a couple of T-shirts tonight. Can we just have a wee model of the T-shirts? Because they're the straight out. Okay.
Oh, hold on a minute.
Fantastic.
Oh, I'm not turning round. That's too much effort at this time.
We can put a hokey on if you want, Heather.
They look so much better on you than they do on us.
Oh.
We know that, but that's okay. You've got your staff project T-shirt.
I have. Did you like that last week? Did we give it a shout out?
It was good, I know. And Elsa was chuffed, wasn't she?
She was really chuffed. So I was joining, she was like, ooh. So she was, that made our new year that. I said, look at that, you're famous. And she just looked at me and went, I'm already famous.
Gary actually survived his own.
Went down a storm, didn't he, with the foundation?
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
These are great. And they're really comfortable as well. I was saying to Sharon, I'd put mine on because they hide a lot of festive weight. As well as showing that we're buddies, as well as showing that, we absolutely love Paisley and St Mirren. So it's an all-rounder, really.
Absolutely.
And the team's doing no bad, isn't it?
Yes.
Someone's doing okay. Gary, I was just saying that obviously we've talked about the other T-shirt, and you sported two of them last week. You had, I think, at least two costume changes last week, Gary.
Aye.
It was a fashion parade last week on the New Year retrospective. The word of the evening is retrospective. Mm-hmm. So that was last week. We had a bit of a fashion parade last week. I went off stage, got changed, came back on, get changed again. But I've not got changed for a week, Andy. I've got the same gear on that I finished with.
Oh my goodness, Gary! No wonder Mrs. Kerr has locked you in the bug hut out in the garden, Gary.
I know. And it's cold now. I've done the heating up, so there isn't any back.
You'll need to fumigate that afterwards. I'm sure you'll get a shower and a change at some point, Gary.
Are you going into Bond there? Yeah, you were going into Bond mode.
Shower and a change.
You're a shave at some point.
It'll be the smell is affecting him,
Oh, goodness. Yes, goodness. Sharon, Heather, nice new year. What did you get up to?
Same as most other people, just absolutely nothing. Did the same as you guys were talking about earlier. Watched Hoot and Annie. It just wasn't the same,
Yeah.
Wasn't the same. So it was very, very quiet. But it was, it was what it was. But what can you do? You've just got to follow the rules as best you can, and if everybody does their bit, hopefully this will do one.
Yeah. Are you guys back in business yet?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Aye. No rest for the wicked.
When did you start back, Heather? Was it yesterday? Start back yesterday?
Yes.
Officially, it was yesterday. Right?
Oh, really? Were you done in between? Should I not ask that?
There was a wee bit of working in between, but not too much, just some paperwork and stuff, messages, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You guys had a really, really busy year last year with COVID and everything catching up on you. And I think what we should do, Andy, I mean, this is new to me. I think we should show a video.
Gary, you've got control of the buttons. I can do it with no hands. Gary, roll the video.
Heather and Sharon, I'm going to show a video of everything that I think it's everything that you did last year, all your stats, everything that you accomplished, just so that it can be shared with our audience worldwide. So here goes. If this works, video coming up.
Wow.
I'm tired just looking at that.
That really is astounding what you guys have achieved. Well done, and thank you.
Amazing.
From us.
No, thank you. But you know, Gary, can I just say, no, we absolutely appreciate everybody's been so kind with things they've been saying and their thanks. But you know, we could not have done that alone. You know, it was all the partners, the support, the people who donated, you know, the funders. It was an absolute huge team effort.
I can see the team you pulled together. Was it 107 volunteers? How many partners was it they said there?
It was 107 partners.
It was 107 partners, 103 volunteers, although that's gone up, and the partners have gone up as well. But yeah, 107 partners, and they are. But bless them. I think they probably blocked our number now from the amount of times we phoned them up, and they're just like, "Yep, not taking that call today." But they've been absolutely remarkable, and our community members have just been so giving as well, and it keeps you going because it's never done. The effort that comes out that we get involved in, it's always, it's always thanked. It's always like, that's fantastic, I'm really benefiting from it. Yeah, Alison. And so it's and what see it's look at all the lovely people in tonight.
So, you got your fans in tonight, that's for sure.
I have, we miss yous.
We do. We really miss them.
One thing that surprised me though was the spread there and the area that you cover. But it's a mammoth task, and is that an expansion? A rapid expansion to what you have traditionally done?
I don't think it is it, Sharon? I mean, we've always been like, it's always been like Renfrewshire and beyond, and in Paisley and beyond. But the food thing is certainly, it was because we started a week before official lockdown in March, getting food out, and support had started a week before, and it was really before other places had kind of got up and going and galvanized themselves. So we covered areas that weren't being covered. And then as other places started forming and providing that food support or whatever other support they were doing, we took a step back and went, place-based approach, your community, like you guys take that, and we just referred on. But I think in 21 years, I think we've always kind of covered a lot of Renfrewshire, haven't we, Shannon?
we have, yeah. And I think, we've obviously got a pretty local focus, we're really proud and passionate about Shortwoods, that's where we're based. So I guess that's our house. But yeah, Heather's right. There's always been work that's been done beyond that, but it did escalate hugely as it did for everybody at the start of the pandemic. And a lot of people don't realise that we're such a small team, but we're actually only equivalent to about 4.5 full-time members of staff. So our reach is pretty spectacular. Yeah. And I guess that's what I mean about, there's no way that a team that size could do that alone, So if it wasn't for all that support and all those other people, we absolutely couldn't achieve it. But, I just wanted to say, just to give you an example of how big an impact that actually is. Based on the previous year, the demand for support overall from Star Project rose by 345%, I think it was. But the stuff that we do around tackling food insecurity, and making sure that people can manage, went up by a staggering 1,500% from 2019. So it was absolutely insane,
Yeah. I mean, just. Not figures that you want to hear. Of course, you want to hear those figures going in the other direction. But organisations like yourself who do step up to the mark, and you've seen some of the comments here. One that caught my eye here was from John Green. I guess you know John, and
I do.
He can't express his gratitude enough. I think it just shows the impact of what you do. There's someone who's clearly required help, assistance, whatever it might be. We don't need to go into the personal details. That's private to yourselves and John. But there he is, happy to say that he's received the support, and he just can't thank you enough. And one of the figures that jumped out there in your stats was, and I loved the language. It was you've dealt with 9,700 unique individuals. Because I'm sure that's the way you see them. Everybody's unique. Everybody's got their own set of circumstances,
absolutely,
their own challenges, their own problems, and you treat them as individuals, and that's vital. That you treat them as individuals. You don't just, blanket try and help them. You treat them individually. And for a small team, 4.5 full-time staff with additional volunteers, etc. I mean, my goodness, you do an awful lot, but you spread yourself off within.
That's why we're shattered.
Why you don't That's how you don't get your emails returned in a timely manner. It's usually midnight. But you know, when you were saying that about all the people that come to us, we absolutely don't, because everybody's different, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that there's that when people approach us for food for whatever reason, you know, we don't ask for proof of benefits or anything, because let's be honest, in the pandemic, the great leveler, you can find yourself experiencing food insecurity for a number of different reasons, and it's about having that conversation and where possible. And we appreciate that some people are really uncomfortable on the phone, and so we've got the ability to text them, or we talk to them through Messenger. But we try and speak to them, because that kind of wraparound approach that we have, that person-centered, which is about, you might be coming to us for food, but do you know what? What if maybe you would appreciate getting involved with the fantastic community members in the drop-in, or there's workshops there, or do you know what? We've got citizens' advice in the drop-in the day. Do you want to have a chat with them? But that's based on the very strong framework that means that it took us less than 36 hours to convert from face-to-face delivery to going online and then doing the delivery service. And we do that because of the strong framework without losing kind of the standard and being able to just refer people on and make sure that people that were approaching us back in March are not still approaching us for food now. Like, they're coming to us for different reasons, because it's about that resilience thing. You don't want to think that you're creating, you know, it's great, it's fantastic that there's all these great places out there doing you know, food provision, and that's brilliant, but it's not enough to just think about, let's get food to people. You don't want to create a dependency. Star Project is all about building people's resilience, and so back in the summer, we knew that people were coming to us and saying, you know, I can actually afford food, I just don't want to go out, I'm shielding, what can Star do? So with the support of communities funding through Linstone, initially, and now it's Communities Recovery Fund, there we go. Not that hard. So we set up Star Shoppers, and that was about us getting out, you know, and getting your shopping. Although I always go, it's a free service. We're not buying your shopping for free, but we will go out for free. And you don't pick up the tab. That's it. And keep giving people that choice, because similar to the community fridge and pantry, where when people phone us up and say, can you give us a wee hand this week? It's about saying, well, what do you like and what don't you like? And they're like, oh no, you know, I'll take whatever. And it's like, no, do you know what? In a time when we've got precious few choices, the very least that you can expect from a community development organisation is the choice in the food that you get. There's never been a shortage of food. They shouldn't be getting rations packs. And people, and it's the same with the Star Shoppers. It's like, what supermarket do you want us to go to and what do you want us to get you? And that's been really great. During December, we needed, I mean, we were on our knees in December. We were really tired, and we needed to shut the project for 2 weeks. But obviously we were sitting there going, right, okay, what's the next step? And for the resilience element, it was about we are going to work with, you know, we're going to pull together 12 easy, nutritious recipes, and we're going to film it, and we're going to write these recipes down, and then we're going to get all the food, and then we're going to get that out to 75 families. So about 300 different individuals benefiting from it. That sounded great in the meeting. And we're all really glad. Every time we go to Shad, we go,
sounded like a good idea at the time.
I know. And then I go, yes, let's do it.
Let's make it happen.
You're like, oh my
God. That admission of the level of staffing you've got, and the amount that has been achieved, and the logistical nightmare that must have been. How did you manage to resource the management and administration of all of that? Because that can't have been easy.
No, it wasn't. But, you know, we just had to get on and do it, Gary. I mean, we absolutely see it as our role to respond to the needs of the community as it arises. I think we're best placed to do that. You know, we're very embedded in Shortwoods. We've got great partners. We're quite well known. We've got a good reputation most of the time. we just had to go on and do it, you know, and everybody just rolled their sleeves up and did what needed to be done. And, you know, Heather's right. When it got to December, we absolutely were on our knees, literally. I mean, if you saw how many meetings we had where we would just all sit and greet. But, you know, but we just had to just keep getting through to Christmas. Let's just get to Christmas. So we absolutely needed that break. But like Heather said, what was really important to us is, yes, we all needed that break so that we could come back in January, carry on the great work, but we didn't want to leave people without stuff. So it was vital, you know, that we still considered what can we put in place where people can help themselves, you know. And it's that quote you like, Heather, what is it?
If you teach it, well, I'm going to change it for my own needs, but give a person a fish, they'll eat for a day. Teach a person to fish, they'll eat for a lifetime. And I think that's a really, really important one.
It's really difficult to escape COVID. I mean, it's impacting on everybody's lives, and you know, and I'm sure you've seen very much at the sharp end the impacts that COVID and the restrictions, whether it's been due to health, shielding, maybe a loss of a job or income or whatever it might be. You've seen that. You've seen all facets of that. But I guess 2021, it's a new year. You look forward. What are the kind of, and trying to almost set COVID aside, what are some of the main themes, some of the main concerns that you see that we need to be a wee bit more switched on to, we need to be a wee bit more attentive to, and we need to be a wee bit more active in our assistance and help in those kind of areas? What are some of the themes that you see potentially emerging?
Well, you know, I think the obvious one Heather's already mentioned, or well, both already mentioned it, is around resilience. There's some brilliant work going on out there. You know, everybody we're partners with, you know, in Fergusley and you know, people based all over Renfrewshire doing great work. And it's right that we give people food because, you know, people need to eat. However, it is not enough. It's not enough because unless we build the resilience of communities, we're just going to keep having to give people food and keep, you know, and I guess the solutions and the problems are much bigger than, you know, than all of us can do that. But I think overarching, there's obviously a lot of stuff around social justice issues, around tackling poverty and deprivation. You know, the issues are massive. Within that, there's stuff around digital poverty, period poverty, food insecurity, as we've mentioned. But wider than that, there's a big thing just now around isolation and I suppose the trauma that a lot of people have experienced. Now, some people don't even know that that's what they've experienced, but they're absolutely showing evidence, you know, that what people have been through is a total trauma. They don't know what to do with it. People need to be able to talk about this.
Aye.
You know, people need a platform to just, you know, talk about their COVID story or whatever you want to call it, talk about what it's been like, good and bad. You know, even if it's very different to our opinion, you know, people need to be able to talk about it because everybody's so disconnected. Of course, I think that's vital. And the obvious one is the impacts of all that together is on mental health. So I think what we need to look out for is resilience. We need to look out for stuff around connections, and we need to look out for well-being. Certainly.
And I think that's the, you know, I mean, you mentioned the kind of the story about giving a person a fish to eat for a day. You've talked about resilience. You've talked about sort of trying to break dependence. And it's important that you're there to support. But what you want to do is you want to skill up. You want to assist. You want to guide whoever it might be through the challenges that they've got, so that they can feel a little bit more on their own. You know, and it's about doing that.
Absolutely. Sorry, I got distracted.
That's all right. Hey, listen, there's tons of fantastic comments coming in.
It's just getting cold. I knew that would happen. One of the we were on a summer trip, and we'll share this with you. We were on a summer trip, and we got out the pack lunch. So the summer trips were fantastic. Virtual summer trips. Virtual summer trips. And it was a sensory extravaganza. So we gave them candles that smelled like the beach, like a nice beach. And you know, and they got their packed lunch was to do with the beach, and there was, you know, sand and everything. So we did it for each of the 4 trips. And on one of the trips, I was delighted because we managed to get toffee popcorn, and I was like, "Yeah, belter! That's great. That'll go for the. I can't remember either the zoo or the fair. No, it was M&D's, I think. We'd done an
It was
All right,
M&D's.
okay, yeah.
So the next minute, and I'm like patting myself in the back, which you never should do because the community members will immediately remind you not to do that. And then one of our younger community members just went, in the middle of everybody getting excited and we're all summing up, and then she just went, I would just like to say I'm very disappointed in you, Heather. I don't like toffee popcorn. You've let me down. And then every trip and every workshop afterwards, she's like, you better not
Every time.
that toffee popcorn. And I'm just like, that's going to be, that'll follow me around for a long time.
You're partial to some toffee popcorn, Gary, are you not?
No, salt and
Just the
sweet.
plain stuff?
Oh,
Salt
I like salted popcorn.
And see if you want to try something that's extra special popcorn.
Oof.
Cheesy microwave popcorn.
I can smell it already, Gary.
Honestly, it's like popcorn what's it?
That sounds just a wee bit boufing, Gary. Just a wee bit.
And again, for our international viewers, boufing, boufing in Scottish means disgusting.
Like extremely smelly and almost to
a wee
the
bit
point
boufing.
of making you sick. Boufing.
I think they probably got that from the description of the popcorn Gary was talking about. Did they know?
See when this is all over.
Something that could
You've got a
provoke.
micro, haven't you?
What's that, Gary?
I think my welcome has just been taken away. Come down any time you like, Gary. Apart from that time, you're bringing down the boufing popcorn.
We can't have any boufing popcorn on the show, Gary.
Was that young girl that met Santa? That was
Yes.
Yes. How
That
did
was
you
her.
know?
Robin.
And I love her. One time we'd gone to an outdoor, we'd done the labyrinth. It was a social distance labyrinth at Fountain Gardens, and we were filming live for Fun Palaces, and there's me in a panda suit, exhausted after running around Paisley, and then I called it socially distant. Well, Robin made sure she corrected me and went, Heather, it's social. Before you go live, it's social. And I'm like, I adore her. I will hire her as my personal assistant to keep me right. She's a brilliant.
She wasn't shy in the Christmas show. You could tell that.
No, she's not shy.
And then this young lass would come on. I'm going to treat you all to some cheesy popcorn one day when this is all over.
That, Gary, you know how to spoil people, don't you?
I'm
Thanks very much, Gary.
A caring, sharing guy. But what we have worked out, Gary, is you talked about being a crispaholic. You've just substituted crisps for popcorn now.
I have. It's a mental thing.
I'm a bit of a crispaholic. I'm with you on that.
Oh, are you? Have you weaned yourself off them?
No, I'm just eating more.
Sean, I'll give you the number.
Right, okay, thank you.
Crispaholics Anonymous.
My favourite one's the square crisps, the cheesy square crisps.
Oh,
when they used to have the cheddar gammon, it was my bath in cheddar gammon.
This is not a good group for you two to be sitting here talking about it. You're making it worse.
The problem with crisps, if somebody's got a bag of crisps and they offer you a crisp and you have a crisp, then that crisp tastes absolutely amazing. And then you then go and buy yourself a full packet of whatever that was. Never the same.
No.
Unless it's square crisps.
Square. I do like the squares. And discos, there's a retro classic for you.
Loved discos. Pure loved them.
This is a whole new show. This is taking on a different vibe, a different feel.
Skips as well. I liked Skips. Remember Skips?
Skips. Yeah, the old
cocktail.
Aye, I liked them as well.
Do they count as crisps? Because I'm really looking for. I tried it. I think it was Marks and Spencer's one coming in, and it was vegetable crisp substitute. I'm like, oh, I'm having them. I'm disgusting.
They're not actually. I don't mind them. You see, I quite like. See your wee beetroot ones. That's quite.
It's not nice. It's not the same. It's not the same.
You're getting a bit fancy now with your beetroot crisps, though, Heather.
I know, absolutely shocking.
You want crisp for your side salad? Yes, make sure it's beetroot, please. Beetroot.
Get that sorted.
With my Waldorf salad there.
We've taken
Just
on a whole new
talk louder, Andy. Talk louder. Just talk over Gary.
We've taken on a whole new Chris debate. We've got, you know, with Anne Marie loves the Tudor. We obviously. Do they still make Tudor, Chris? Is that still going?
I don't know.
Does that get assumed into Walkers or something like that?
No, Tudor's gone, I'm afraid.
We got loads of ones. I'm sure it was said Tudor. I'm a bit worried. I need to check the community fridge because I'm sure we got loads of Tudor crisps donated.
They'll be out of date. 1984 they'll have on them.
It's just as well I'm not in charge of the checking the sell-by dates then, isn't it?
Anyways, we run late and run over on our show and on the chat show and it's always a joy to run over and it's almost planned. But we've got other stuff we need to talk about, Andy.
We have. What have we got to talk about, Gary? Because I've not seen the script tonight.
Well, there is no script.
We've got another guest coming on. We've got another guest coming on.
Poor Lindsay's sitting there thinking, he was only kidding on about running over. Maybe they were winding it up. But we've got another video, Andy. We're going to show a video and then we've got another guest. So we'll show another video.
You press the button, Gary. You're in charge. Press the button and then we'll get a video and then Lindsay.
So this one is Heather, tell us what this video is about before I click the button.
Oh, come on, guys. Which video? Oh, no, I know which one it is.
Summer.
It's the summer one.
Summer video.
It's the summer roundup, which people will at some point turn around and go, that music, if I ever hear that music again, but you should know for the staff that edit them, we don't like the music either. This is a sum up of those summer trips we were talking about. Robin, if you're at home, there's no toffee popcorn, so you're all right. You can keep staring at the screen.
Before we click this one, you talked about the summer trip. Well, this is not going to end up in the Facebook police, is it? This isn't. You're not playing any Hue and Cry tunes on this one, are you?
No. We abide by all rules.
Oh.
No, but it's the same. I've just noticed it's the same music that we used on the other video. So.
Oh well, listen,
I quite like that first time round. Yeah, it's good that. Right, so we've got a summer trips video coming up to recap the virtual Star Project trips in the summer. Here it goes. terrific.
All back in the room.
You've been pressing the buttons. Are we all in the right order, Andy?
I think we're all in the right order. We look about that was a fantastic video. But the thing that I liked was the seaside photographs where you got folks to make up and stick their faces through. That's a great idea. I love that one.
It's really good, wasn't it? And do you know, I think as well, the team worked with an artist prior to that so that we could just try and replicate, you know, the kind of feeling of an away day for families as much as possible. So the creative challenges were just brilliant, you know. But yeah, the whole thing was just...
Did you have one poor person that was sick on the virtual bus?
They tried to be. They did.
Other than Heather, you mean?
Well, I was the driver. I was the driver. Well, we did bus bingo and it got super competitive, but we kept going, oh, this is great, because each year the summer trips, you never really prepare for how truly exhausting the summer trips are. And I'm like, that's brilliant. Set, we backdrop on, I have never experienced tiredness like it. It was just so, it was 6.5 hours of just challenges and then people showing what they'd done. But some of the ingenious stuff that they came up with, it was just like, we were looking at it, we said, use your packed lunch trays and make us a roller coaster. Yeah. Oh my goodness, the stuff that they did. We were like, these guys are engineers. We need to stop calling ourselves a community development organisation and start calling ourselves a think tank, because our community are proper geniuses. And when they do stuff.
Sandcastles.
Sorry?
Was Lindsay on the bus?
Lindsay was on the bus. Lindsay was keeping everyone right. Lindsay is the keeper of the mute button on the buses. The hardest quiz master.
We can do that as well. Watch out, if you step out of line, we can mute you as well. And
let's bring Lindsay on.
Go on, Gary.
Bring
Lindsay on.
I'm adding to my skills here. I'm pressing a button.
Oh, there you go.
Yay! Lindsay!
Because of 5, Gary. Hey, Lindsay, because of 5.
Unmuted Lindsay there.
Let's do... Oh, no, I've no muted Lindsay, Gary. What are you doing? There we go.
Lindsay, good evening.
Hi, yeah, I can hear.
Sorry for keeping you waiting there, Lindsay. It wasn't us, it was they two.
I know.
I was loving the crisp chat. I'm going to need to go and get a bag of crisps now. I'm ready for it.
Don't do it. I'll need to give you out the crispaholic.com number.
Yes.
There's another great word, a great Scottish word, chonnerin, for a bag of crisps.
Chonnerin.
Chonnerin. You've heard that one, Gary?
Never heard of that in my life.
You're chonnerin if you like.
Said that.
If somebody's got a fish supper and you can smell a fish supper, oh, you're absolutely chonnerin for a bag of chips or a fish supper. It just means that you really desire a bag of crisps or fish supper.
I got that much, but I've never heard of it in my life.
You never heard of chonnerin? Maybe it was a Hunter Hill. Well, you stayed in Hunter Hill for a period of time as well, Gary.
Well, yes, I did for a period of time. Up by Blackhall Manor, yes, just for a while.
Anyway, Lindsay, how are you? Happy New Year.
I'm good, thank you. Happy New Year. How are you guys?
Great. It's been a great start to the year, actually. It's given me a big lift, this show. Is it as much fun working with these two champions as it is we're having tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it feels very similar sort of chat to a lot of our very professional Zoom meetings that we have. But no, it's been loads of fun. It was nice watching the videos and stuff there to actually look at all the stuff that we've done over last year. It's been
so much.
Yeah.
Are you the newest member of the team, Lindsay?
No, I don't think I am anymore. I'm not the newbie anymore. No, I've been there for a year now. So basically just started and then boom, straight into lockdown. So
Lindsay was the newest, but then we actually recruited during lockdown as well. So
yeah. So Lindsay, what is it you're doing at the Star Project?
So I'm the support worker, so do a combo of things. Been running the digital drop-in online. So normally that would take place in the project Monday to Thursday 9 to 1, and it's just a really good space for people to come along and have like a cuppa, have a chat, have access to other services and get that kind of wraparound support that Heather was talking about earlier. So we've kind of taken that online now. So it's kind of like a chat room, but it's really fun. It's great, great chat. It's been really good for me actually getting to wake up in the morning and feel like I'm socialising with people and stuff. So that's been nice. So the drop-in's been a big one. Been doing loads of the creative workshops on Zoom as well. So things like creative writing, making like threading. What would you even say that was? Yeah, it's
COVID quilt, as people kept calling it, which I'm like, nobody wants a COVID quilt, believe me.
Don't want one of them for Christmas.
So we've been doing loads of different sort of creative workshops online, and then I've been doing the sort of support calls as well with people, and then running We Stars as well, the We Stars toddler group. So
yes, and is that something that's relatively new, Lindsay, the toddler thing?
No, we've been running. That's been running for years. So it's kind of taken a different format now. So it's a weekly toddler class, and we do book bag, we do exertots, and it's all around sort of preschool, creative, educational activities. It's based on kind of curriculum as well. So we've been doing that, and yeah, it's on Zoom, 10 o'clock on Fridays. So if there's anyone that would like to join, if anyone's got any wee ones, it's really great. Obviously, just now for sort of new parents during lockdown, it can be quite isolating. So we definitely encourage people to come along and take part. So
what's your limit on that, Lindsay? How many can you take in?
Oh, I think the limit is limitless. Yeah. We've had loads. I think we've ran 38 We Star sessions over the last year, and I think we've reached around over 700 big and We Stars. So it's been really good. We actually managed to get Santa on Zoom for our We Stars Christmas party.
What language was he speaking, Lindsay?
It was Scots. It's traditional Scots for us.
No French. No French.
Well, maybe a wee bit.
Santa's brilliant on Zoom. We were very lucky to secure Santa, and he was brilliant. But that sounds fantastic. So you've had sessions with up to 38. Is that what you say? 38.
We've had 38 sessions.
Oh, you 38 sessions, but in terms of number of participants.
Yeah, so I think it's over 700 that we've reached through like our trips and stuff.
Total.
Yeah.
In total.
Aye, so it's always quite busy. Every so often I pop in whenever there's various shenanigans to be had. I come in and they're always like really high energy. So I leave just going, no, not today, not on a Friday. But the kids, they get so invested. We get little craft packs out them as they're doing crafts, don't we? And then every so often, if I'm doing something else, I wonder how that's gone. The next minute, like Messenger's going wild as people have taken pictures of these amazing wee crafts, and the wee stars are they do wonderful things. So it's really closely mirroring what used to happen in the building, where we would go through and we'd do all that. And we've got such a great volunteer, Margaret, who's got the best Yorkshire accent. She's probably going to get because I think she's from near Preston.
Watch out!
She goes
so we get her to read loads of stuff. One of the community members brought in Wonky Donkey, and I actually said I would pay good money to read that Wonky Donkey. So she's been with us for a while, and so they've become quite the team, Lindsay and Margaret.
Margaret's been brilliant. Like, shout out to Margaret if you're watching this. She's been such a great support, and yeah, she's brilliant. Like doing book sessions and stuff. She's just got the best storytelling voice, as Heather was saying. But yeah, if anyone wants to join We Stars, just give us a message on our Facebook page, or you can give us a call, give the project a call. because it's been really good fun. Gives a wee bit of routine as well to the week, which is nice.
Yeah,
Lindsay,
it does.
Speaking about the work that Star does, Lindsay, it feels like it's went from an offline thing and been busy to full on online.
Yeah.
Does it take your whole day?
Sorry?
Does it take up your whole day sitting online?
Yeah, I definitely feel like Zoom is part of my soul now. It has been all online, but it has been good that we've been able to fully just move the whole services onto an online platform. I think that was something that we were quite aware of as a team, was about like accessibility needs and making sure that we could get like laptops and devices and stuff out to people so that they could take part. But I think my eyes are going to start going square soon from all the screen time.
Yeah, and it is the way now. I mean, ultimately, we started the chat show just because we know more people are consuming content in this way. We're all using Zoom or Teams or whatever, and it helps at least form a bit of a bridge. Folk can keep in touch with each other, and if you're able to deliver some of your content, some of your sessions, some of the programs that you run, it's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I'm just fishing out your. I was expecting Gary to have a banner sorted out for your Facebook page, but
Gary,
you've not done it, Gary. What's going on?
He was in heating his microwave. His popcorn up in the microwave.
Andy, it's day one on a long-term tutorial. You've had 36 weeks here. I've had 1 day.
You're doing well, Gary. You're doing well.
No, absolutely, Gary. You've fantastic, Gary. But this is your main Facebook page. There is Star Project Paisley, and the wee stars you can find, I'm guessing, on there as well. Is that right?
Yeah, you can give us a wee message on there, or you can call us, or I think our email is inquiries@star-project.org.uk.
I'll get them on the screen just a moment.
I was going to ask earlier, Lindsay.
Yeah.
When I said something that wasn't half right, I got a scowl from Heather. Is that just what happens? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Called out left. I'm quite into like astrology and stuff like that, and I get called out all the time from Heather. Yeah. So you need to have it's something like day one on the job. I was like, whoa, she got beef with me, or but no, now I know that it all comes from like a deep place of love, right? What's the difference, Lindsay, astrology and astronomy? Because Andy's a stargazer.
Well,
one's based in science, one's a fairy tale.
Heather, I couldn't have said it better myself.
It's we always have this joke. It's Heather's thundercloud of doom. The community members joke about it. That I when people are misbehaving or they're at any kind of shenanigans, I'm like, you need to hold the thundercloud of doom. If they keep doing it, they have to sit under thundercloud of doom and read positive affirmations. And I think I probably made Lindsay do that on the first day. But nobody cares. I scowl. I go, I don't know. This is a nonsense, and literally nobody cares. They're like, Heather,
what's your star sign?
I don't know, because do you know why?
Gemini.
Lindsay,
are you in tomorrow?
I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, okay. So spontaneous.
I'm a water sign.
What does that mean, Lindsay? If Gary's
nothing like one, but.
I think Aquarius, and don't quote me on this if there's any people that are actually into it, because I'm quite selfish with it. I only really know about my own sign and stuff. But I'm sure Aquarius is like very creative, quite spontaneous, and quite likes to have a different project on the go, and kind of all about the kind of big worldly issues and stuff. Don't quote me on that.
I want to one with Darlinda. Fantastic one. What about Taurus? I'm a Taurus.
Oh,
Linda.
you're Taurus. So you like your kind of like luxury, things. You're obviously stubborn, the stubborn bull.
Mrs. C might agree with you in that.
I think a good Taurus, I think, is good at seeing like the kind of bigger picture on things. But yeah, luxury, you quite like a bit of like self-care and indulging in the finer things. Does that ring true? I don't know.
Heather, is that you?
Am I dead inside? I can't hear you, but I'm dead inside now. I'm just like nonsense, arrogance.
Your sign is full of skepticism, Heather. I can feel it. I can feel a skepticism coming over you this evening.
I am a member of the Skeptic Society, so I'm all about that. Just stop. Do you know what? Honestly, guys, just stop feeding into this.
This is great. I can't believe I've managed to turn this into talking about star signs.
Jackie, I'm the same as Jackie, although I don't think I'm actually much like a Piscean, but that's what I'm meant to be. But
I'm sorry, the quote of the night, the Mags McGee, come on, Aquarians loves Chris. The fact that two things makes it a genius.
We've got a special request in from Councillor Eddie Devine, Lindsay's own astrology show.
I think we're coming on, Andy, the weekly.
I would love that. That would be my dream come true. I have a book and everything. So I've actually got like tarot card. Oh, I'm an Aries as well, Elizabeth. Woohoo! To be hot-headed.
Andy, put your mug up with the tea leaves.
Oh, hang on. I can see my future in here. We're talking gibberish on a chat show, Gary.
Lauren, I expected better of you. I'll be phoning you tomorrow.
I know. Come on, guys. Come on.
We've got you into trouble. But I think what's really special is, the three of you on. You've got such a tough job, but you can see that there's such a fantastic bond between all three of you. And I guess that's the same for everybody you work with. You genuinely love each other and you genuinely love the work that you do. That's fantastic.
Do you know, it's so true. We have got, and I mean this, such an awesome team. Like totally. And I think, if anybody wants to know the secret to an organisation's success, every time they just need to look at the team that actually makes that happen. Yeah. I think every one of those guys, work with us because they're very good at what they do. They've got brilliant skills, but I think more importantly, their passion for this kind of work is very, very real. And I think that's vital. They're amazing. I love them all. They're brilliant.
And I guess, it's challenging in the way that you probably get your own days that you're just no firing on all cylinders and you have to support each other. Would that be true?
That would be more true than you will ever know. But do you know the important thing? And I mean this, and I'm not worried about saying this. I'm quite open about it. One of the things that's really important in our team is congruence and honesty and reflection. And we use a lot of reflective tools. And I guess it's a bit of a standing joke that somebody's not okay until I've chatted to them and they've cried, So that gets joked about a lot. So there's plenty of tears, but a lot of honesty, and it's very, very healing. And it's basically what keeps us going. I think, just being able to have that kind of level of honesty and just say, this is what I'm feeling. And everybody just bands round about you and it works wonders.
Yeah.
It really does.
It's been great to be in amongst you guys tonight because it's not just been uplifting, it's been great fun.
Yeah.
Good. Fun's important.
The last bit was weaker, I felt. I thought it lacked a bit of credibility to the point. I might not tune in next week.
I know. Well, listen, next week is clearly a horoscope special with Lindsay, Heather. We're already booking. In fact, Willie Kay here is even suggesting that we could turn Lindsay's mystic meg abilities into an earner.
My rate is a wee bit more than £1, I would say, but
Heather thinks that's expensive.
Heather thinks that's expensive. £1.
Yes, I think that Lindsay should be paying people £1 million to listen to the.
We don't want anyone being upset about their horoscopes. All in good fun. But I guess ultimately the work's going to continue for 2021. You've got your work cut out for you, and you do rely on people to support you, volunteer, assist, donate, give of their time. What are the big call outs, the big asks of the community? Because we get a great number of folk watching the show, and there's a lot of people in influential places. So, if you were to think about what are the main asks or the main needs of the community for Star Project, what have you got on the list there, folks?
Heather?
I think that one of the first things would be the main asks of the community is reach out, because people always phone us up and say, I don't know what Star Project does. And there's a reason you don't know what we do, is because we do what you need us to do, and we adapt. And we always say we're the community version of Google. People phone up and go, I wonder if we don't know the answer, then we can signpost. So the thing, don't sit at home and think that you're alone in this, because you're absolutely not. We're all going through quite a lot of trauma. We're all in quite a dark place. And the one thing that you can rely on, something we heard a lot during the pandemic, was people phoning us up and saying, I feel, and it sounds really dark, but I feel like I might die here and nobody will even notice I'm gone. Well, unfortunately for them, they're part of Star Project now, and we do notice, despite the thousands of people that we work with, we absolutely know when somebody's not there. And so our one of the big asks would be, for goodness sake, just reach out, pick up the phone, message us on Facebook, and just say hiya, and we'll start a conversation and see how they're doing. We get a lot of requests in about volunteers. We have got, and we call them superheroes, because they absolutely cannot even begin to talk about them. And our volunteers have always been remarkable, and they continue to be so, even as we get bigger numbers of them. So at the moment, we're pretty much at our height with volunteers. I don't even know how many more we could take, but that's not to say, if you are interested, that you get in touch, that we make sure we touch base with you, as we've got more things available. And, St Mirren Charitable Foundation always put our kind of essential needs list up. If you're wanting to donate food, then please go onto their website and have a look at our asks for food, because I certainly don't think food insecurity is going anywhere, and that's something. But for people that think they know what Star Project's about and go, oh, I'll not come to your workshop because that's not for me. I think I saw in a few of the comments was people saying I wasn't creative until I got involved in one of the workshops. We will find that spark. We will bring it to the fore, and we'll have you producing amazing works of art by the end of it. We really will.
Lindsay, just before we finish off with Sharon tonight, what's your shout out to everyone about how they can get involved with what you do?
Yeah, I would say probably just my experience, I guess, from the support worker point of view for the last year would be that even just people want to feel listened to. So just from the support calls, I found that sometimes it sounds like such an obvious thing to say, like that people want to feel heard, but I think no matter the complexities of everyone's individual experiences of lockdown, I think if you don't have someone that you can even chat to or chat it out and talk about, like your frustrations or your fears or just how you've been feeling, then that can be totally detrimental to mental health. So it sounds so obvious, but I think just reaching out to people that you maybe know are on their own, and just remembering back to the start of lockdown when people were kind of looking out for their neighbours and, saying hi to people in the streets. And I think trying to get back to that a wee bit, because it's still going on. And if anything, people might be feeling even worse now because they've gone through it for a full year. So I think just the absolute rife social isolation that is going on in Renfrewshire just now is scary. But I think that everyone could play a part in that by just trying to reach out and trying to stay connected if you can.
Brilliant.
Hey, Lindsay, do you want to finish off this section, Sharon, and a message and how we might be able to help you and how the community can get more involved if you need that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think the girls have basically covered it, but I think I suppose a message would be, it's been tough, but there's been absolute positives this year. As I think has been mentioned again and again on your show, that growing community spirit has been amazing. The resourcefulness of organisations, you know, around us has been incredible. The partnership working across Renfrewshire has been fabulous. It's always been good, but it's just jumped up to a whole new level, you know. Partners have been really supportive of each other. You know, we shared resources, advice, protocols, risk assessments, pep talks, tears, laughter. We even shared staff, you know. And I think, please let's continue that, you know, because I think it's that amount of resilience that's going to get Renfrewshire through this. Well, everybody through it, but, you know, us in particular, I think let's just keep doing that to support each other. So if anybody can help us or think we can help them, get in touch, give us a shout.
Yeah, and we kind of put the Facebook details up a little bit earlier, and I think, you know, the very least folk can do is jump onto your Facebook page and just hit that like button. That's the very least that they can do.
That's
and then
it
just allows your numbers. You're sitting at 1,700 people right now. It'd be great to see that smashing 2,000, you know, over the next few weeks, you know, and they just, anything that you've got going on, you put it there and folk will be able to see what's going on. They'll be kept up to speed. But I think we'll kind of, you know, there's been some brilliant, wonderful comments coming in on social medias. You know, clearly the work that you do has not gone, you know, missed. And I think a great comment there from Paul Stewart. Never thought angels didn't exist, but you know,
that's so lovely.
Clearly,
you know what, that's the nicest thought that guy's ever had.
As well, do you know, I was just going to say, but I usually like and laugh at some of Paul's comments on your show. But Paul, thank you. I'll give you that tenner later. That's a lovely thing to say, isn't it? That's lovely.
Yeah.
Everybody's so kind, you know. And you know, and I know I've said this a few times online in various places, but I just hope that all this, the kind of kindness and, you know, that community spirit carries through, because it is tough, isn't it? It feels like here we go again.
Yeah.
I think we just need to hang in there and just be there for each other, you know.
Wonderful.
Yeah, fantastic work you guys do. You don't need any more thanks from us, but we really want to say thank you.
Yeah.
And thanks, Sharon, Lindsay and Heather. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for asking us again.
Wonderful guest. Now, part of Gary's training, I'm going to get him to take you out of the stream, Gary. So, are you ready for this one?
Do you want us to wait for the photo?
Yeah, want to hang around in the
you
back,
want us to wait in the back? We'll wait in the back.
Aaron, we could have got away there. What are you doing?
We're hoping Heather brings the dog toys in.
Everyone, Lindsay, Heather, Sharon, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Keep going, Gary. Hey. Oh, hey.
Hey, Andy, we say it every week, the guests make this show, but that was an inspirational show tonight. The ladies are just amazing what they do.
Those videos that they do, I mean, you know, you got that overview video of the amount of work that they do. The amount of work that they do is just phenomenal, Gary. And, you know, there are great people in Paisley. There are people in need in Paisley, you know, and the community needs to be able to help where they can. And to see the work of Sharon and Heather and Lindsay and everything that they do for all ages and all backgrounds without any judgment at all, they roll their sleeves up and they help. Just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal, Gary.
And they're just brilliant people.
Oh, they are.
It's
Absolutely.
just great to. It's great to be on the same screen with them, Andy. It's just a real privilege to share and to bring their story to maybe to a wider audience. There's a couple of comments coming up there earlier, Andy, about good insight into Star, didn't know about it, that type of thing. That's the job we're doing. We're nowhere near the level of what Sharon, Lindsay, and Heather are providing, and it's humbling. Really humbling.
Absolutely, they are hands-on. So, folks, if you've enjoyed tonight's show, if you found out a little bit more about Star Project, you might not need to or have the capability to get involved or whatever, but at the very least, jump onto their Facebook page. It is Star Project Paisley. Its details are down at the bottom, and just smash that like button. Give the like button a hit. And just that'll be them. They'll pop up into your feed. You'll see all the great work that they do. And if you think it's important for someone that you know maybe needs that help, then the star. I like the term that Heather used. The kind of the equivalent of Google for community care within Paisley, and it's great. You go there. Hey, I've got an issue here, and they'll be able to help you in one way, shape, or form. So, all fantastic stuff, Gary.
Yeah, no matter what.
We say every week, Gary, that this programme was always scheduled to go for an hour. But when you've got brilliant people on like that, Gary, an hour flies by. Yeah,
and it's good to be able to just talk mince now and again, as well as some serious stuff.
Although I must admit, I think we upset Heather with the star signs. I'm not a big believer in that stuff either, but I think Heather's, you know, she's.
It was written, Andy. We were going to talk about
that. Was that in the script?
No,
stars talking stars.
In the stars.
It was written in the stars. Oh, I see what you did there, Gary. That's quite an Aquarius thing of you to do there, Gary.
Well, it's a dawning of a new age. You know what I mean?
Oh, fantastic. So listen, Gary, we've had another brilliant show. 2021 off to a cracking start, Gary.
Great start, Andy. It's been a real pleasure and a privilege to be on the show tonight, never mind pressing the buttons.
Aye, you've done well, Gary. I must admit, I've got to commend you.
Thank you. We'll get my StreamYard, Paisley Community Trust chat show hosting Scott Vic 3 certificate in the post.
I'll get that in the post for you, Gary. And then we'll need to look into the merch, because we know that some of our viewers are quite keen to get the Paisley Community mugs or so on.
No, Eddie was looking for a mug, so we'll make sure we get our supplier geared up. But I think they're coming from France. I think the Brexit's got in the way.
Oh, do you think the Brexit's...
Yeah, they come over on the ferry. Or is it the Renfrew ferry? I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I don't know.
I've been keeping an eye on CNN. They've broken into Nancy Pelosi's office.
Oh, have they?
Aye, they have. They've broken into Nancy Pelosi's, and there's been gunshots, but I don't know if anyone's been. And Trump has addressed the rioters, telling them to go home.
Oh well.
I think it's time for Donald Trump to go home, whatever that might be, Gary.
What I'm looking forward to, Andy, is Series 4 of Designated Survivor.
You've been watching that?
I've seen the 3 of them. So Series 4's coming out. This guy comes out of a cupboard with a big kind of orange face and wig and stuff, saying, "Oh," he ends up on the screen. Anyway, it's been a brilliant show. We should exit stage left, Andy, and say goodnight to everyone. So, without further ado, is that the right phrase?
You're speaking French again, Gary. Are you going to play the outro video? Well, shall
no, it's not in my module. It's in my homework. Oh, you do that.
It's been great. Fantastic. 2021, we wish you, at Paisley Community Trust, we wish you all the very best for the year ahead. 2021, you know, it's your year. Make it as best as you possibly can. And we look forward to you joining us next week for Chat Show. So good night, folks.
Have a great 2021. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.
Good night.